Hey church, it's Clark coming to you live from the basement. Sorry, it's too bright and hot outside to be doing these videos out there, so stuck with this view going on. But this week we're going to be reading from Genesis chapter 12. The next 4 weeks we're gonna go over the life of Abraham, Old Testament figure who has a lot to do with some of the things that are written in the New Testament as well. And so we're going to read about Abraham, his life, see what we can learn from it, see what we can, how we can grow by learning about Abraham. But so what I want you to do right now is just pause and read uh, Galatians 3, 6 through 14, and then also Genesis 12, 1 through 5. All right, should be ready now. So basically, the Galatians passage shows us that we are descendants of Abraham who believe. So the blessings that are promised to Abraham come to us as well, Gentiles, people who aren't Jewish. Um, we have the same promises to us that Abraham had to him. So what are those promises? What was said to Abraham? And that's what the Genesis account is all about. And I don't know about you, but I am a skeptical person. So verses 2 and 3 in Genesis 12 to me sound like a classic scam. Like, hey, you've just won a free vacation to Jamaica. All you have to do is fill out this and come to this thing, this, right? Like, yeah, that's where I just click and hang up, and I don't even listen to the rest of it because I just know that it's not true. Um, and that's kind of what I see. Is this really vague, too good to be true message from God to Abram. I will make you a great nation. I will bless you. I'll make your name great. I'll bless those who bless you. Like, okay, my wife can't even get pregnant, Lord. So how are you going to make a nation out of me? How are you going to bless me? But obviously, Abraham is a little bit better than me because he trusts God. So I'm just going to focus on two words from here, and that is go. Right in verse 1, the go part, and then the bless part. So God says to Abram, go from your country and your people and your father's household to the land that I will show you. In our world today, most of the stuff we read tends to call us to the left or to the right. That go more liberal, go more conservative, and those are the two viewpoints we go from. And this passage shows something different. It's that God calls us out. He doesn't call us left. He doesn't call us right. He calls us out, and he calls us into. He calls us out of our situation, our home, where we are, our comfort. Right? He calls Abram out of the life that he once lived. He's calling us out of sin. He's calling us out of selfishness, out of safety, and he's calling us into a relationship of trust. Right? He's calling us into obedience, into love, into mercy, justice, holiness. That's what God is calling us into. So he doesn't call us to follow the left. He doesn't call us to follow the right. He calls us out, and he calls us into a relationship of trust with him. There's a cool prayer from the lectionary this week where it says, make sure I get this right, call us out to risk holy adventure. And I love that. God is calling us on a holy adventure, but we've got to leave the situation sometimes we're in and go and trust him. And then the second thing is blessing. And one of the things is that God has blessed all of us in so many ways, and he's been so good to us. But the blessing, when God blesses us, he doesn't accept, we're not just here to soak in blessing. We are meant to be people who then pour out that blessing to others. So he blesses us so that we bless others. So after saying that he's going to bless Abraham, he says, and all the peoples on earth will be blessed through you. So Abraham, I'm not just blessing you so that you can live a good life, so that everyone, the whole world, I'm going to work through you so that the whole world is blessed through you. And that's what he does with us. And I think I'd be remiss not to mention that connecting this with Christ is that we follow Jesus, who is the better Abraham, right? He's better than following Abraham. Jesus who left the comforts of his home and trusted the Father. So Jesus was called out of eternity, out of his heavenly home into poverty, into humanity, and he trusted the Father all the way to the cross, right? And then Jesus obviously didn't just stockpile the blessings, the love that he had from the Father, the loving relationship of the Trinity. He blessed others, right? So we learn from Abraham, but we also point to the better Abraham, who is Jesus, who reminds us that we are called to go out, to leave sometimes comfort, to leave our sin, to leave our selfishness behind, into trusting him and called out, and we are blessed to bless others. So that's kind of the main message of tonight. Love you guys. Wish we could see you tonight, but understand things come up. It's all good. Love you all. We'll see you all soon. Okay.